When Roman Reigns stands across the ring, even monsters and conquerors fall. Braun Strowman's rage and Brock Lesnar's dominance both collided with the Tribal Chief's unstoppable power. Number 1. Braun Strowman vs. Roman Reigns. When Braun Strowman exploded onto the WWE main event scene, he was presented as an unstoppable monster. Massive, furious, and seemingly immune to pain, Strowman destroyed everything in his path. He flipped ambulances, crushed opponents, and famously shouted, "I'm not finished with you," after dismantling rivals. For a time, it felt like no one could truly control the monster among men. But whenever Braun Strowman stood face-to-face with Roman Reigns, the story often ended the same way, with Roman standing tall. Their rivalry dates back to some of the most chaotic and physical matches of the modern era. Strowman made it personal from the beginning. He attacked Roman backstage, threw him off stages, smashed him through tables, and even tipped over vehicles with Roman inside. One of the most unforgettable moments came when Strowman flipped an ambulance with Reigns trapped in the back, creating a shocking visual that defined his monster persona. Despite that fury, Roman Reigns always found a way to survive. Inside the ring, Strowman's power was overwhelming. He hurled Roman across the canvas, launched him into barricades, and crushed him with devastating running power slams. The physical size difference was obvious. Braun towered over Roman and used that advantage to dominate stretches of their matches, yet Roman absorbed punishment in ways that stunned audiences. He kept rising, even after being battered by a man who outweighed him by over 100 pounds. As Roman evolved into the Tribal Chief in 2020, the dynamic shifted even further. This was no longer the heroic Roman trying to prove himself. This was a cold, calculated champion who blended brutality with strategy. When Strowman challenged Roman for the Universal Championship, the monster's rage met a different kind of force, intelligence, and ruthless precision. Roman targeted Strowman's weaknesses instead of simply trying to overpower him. He chopped down the giant, attacked his legs, and used his speed to outmaneuver him. Over time, Braun's explosive anger became a disadvantage. Roman baited him into mistakes, capitalized on openings, and delivered punishing spears that echoed through arenas. Even in Falls Count Anywhere matches and chaotic brawls, where Strowman thrived, Roman adapted. Steel steps, announce tables, and barricades became weapons in a war of attrition. Strowman would roar in frustration, slamming Roman through structures and attempting to crush him with raw force, but Roman's resilience proved stronger. The psychological edge also belonged to Reigns. As Tribal Chief, Roman demanded acknowledgement and controlled narratives. Strowman's fury felt reactive, while Roman's dominance felt inevitable. Each time Braun tried to reclaim momentum, Roman shut the door with a decisive spear or guillotine choke. Fans often remember the spectacle, the flipped ambulance, the collapsing stages, the monstrous collisions. But the lasting image is Roman standing over Strowman, proving that even the most destructive force could not dethrone him. Braun Strowman may have been furious, and he may have taken the fight to Roman with unmatched intensity, but history shows that whenever they collided at the highest stakes, Roman Reigns left him absolutely destroyed. Number 2. Brock Lesnar vs. Roman Reigns. If Braun Strowman was a monster, Brock Lesnar was a conqueror. The Beast Incarnate built his legacy on domination. He crushed legends, ended The Undertaker's WrestleMania streak, and dismantled champions with suplexes and F5s. Brock Lesnar was fear personified inside a WWE ring, yet over time, even Lesnar found himself overwhelmed by Roman Reigns. Their rivalry spans years and multiple WrestleMania main events. Early encounters painted Brock as the unstoppable predator and Roman as the challenger chasing validation. Matches were filled with German suplexes that launched Roman across the ring and F5s that seemed impossible to survive. Roman absorbed punishment that would have ended most careers, yet he continued to rise. As years passed, the balance of power shifted. When Roman embraced his Tribal Chief persona, he no longer fought with desperation. He fought with authority. This new version of Roman combined physical dominance with calculated brutality. When he and Lesnar met again during Roman's historic Universal Championship reign, the energy felt different. Brock was still dangerous, still explosive, but Roman was no longer the underdog. Their clashes became battles of pure violence. Lesnar's face often turned crimson from the intensity of Roman's strikes. Spears drove Brock backward with shocking force. Guillotine chokes forced the powerhouse to fade. At major events like WrestleMania and SummerSlam, the ring barely contained their collision. One of the most telling visuals came when Roman stood over a bloodied Lesnar, having unleashed relentless offense. For years, Lesnar had been the one inflicting that kind of destruction. Now, Roman had flipped the narrative. The Beast was no longer invincible. In last man standing and title unification matches, both men pushed their bodies to extremes. Steel steps were hurled like weapons, tables shattered under their combined weight. Each suplex and spear felt like a seismic event, yet Roman consistently found a way to keep Brock down for the final count. Lesnar's raw power remained terrifying. A single F5 could change everything, but Roman's evolution into a strategic, ruthless champion allowed him to anticipate and counter Brock's bursts of offense. Instead of being overwhelmed, Roman dictated pace. He weathered storms and struck at precise moments. The phrase "Roman beat the blood out of Brock" captures more than just physical damage. It symbolizes a shift in hierarchy. For years, Brock Lesnar was WWE's ultimate final boss, but during Roman's dominant reign, even the Beast fell repeatedly. Their rivalry will be remembered as one of the most physical in WWE history. Two titans colliding again and again, leaving the ring torn apart. Yet the defining image of their later battles is Roman Reigns standing tall, championships raised, as Brock Lesnar lay battered. In an era filled with giants and conquerors, Roman Reigns proved he could dismantle them all.